Good evening, everyone. I hope that everyone tuning in is doing well and staying healthy during this crazy time. My name is Dayton Carpenter, and I'm an admissions counselor at Bridgewater College. First off, congratulations on being admitted to BC. We're excited that you're interested in seeing if we could be the right fit for you, and we thank you for joining us for the first session of our first ever virtual Admitted Students Week. We know ideally we'd be meeting in person on our campus and you'd have the ability to shake our hands, but obviously due to the current circumstances, that's not a possibility. Earlier today, we emailed you a video with our president, Dr. David Bushman, kind of talking about what was going to be going on during this week and giving you an introduction. We hope that you can participate in as many of the videos we're putting out this week because we really think they're going to be quite informational for whatever point you're at in the process. As I mentioned a minute ago, we have a wide variety of participants with us tonight. Some of you are admitted students who are kind of at the deciding point, deciding on if BC could be that right fit for you. We have some students who've already paid their deposit. You've already decided that BC is the right fit for you and you're excited for next year. We think you're gonna find this week, very reinforcing of the decision you've made. And then we also have some parents out there. You may have a son or daughter who's interested in BC or may have already paid their deposit at BC, and you're trying to see what it's all about. And we hope this week's going to be very informational for you. But tonight we have Dr. Betsy Hayes with us, and she's going to talk a little bit about the unique academic experience that you're going to receive at BC, because that's going to be one of the most important things during your college experience. So now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hayes, and she can take it away.
Hi, everybody. It is delightful to be with you this evening. This is my first Zoom session that I'm leading with 101 folks on the line. I've been teaching online as we all pivoted in March. But because Bridgewater classes are generally small, our largest class sizes are really 30 students. It was not difficult for me to see everybody on the same Zoom page when we pivoted. I'm going to talk this evening about what makes academics at Bridgewater unique. I'll start by introducing myself. I've actually been at Bridgewater for over 25 years. I'm currently the division head of humanities and social sciences. So I oversee programs in world languages and philosophy and religion and sociology and in history and political science. But I'm good friends with the other division heads in natural science, professional studies, and communications, literature, and fine arts. So I'm going to give you examples from all those areas tonight. I want to talk specifically about the experience of academics at Bridgewater, because I do think they are central to why people choose us and why they find us an exciting place to be. Hopefully, let's see. Let me share my actual screen. Here we go. The correct screen. Are you all on my main page with the PowerPoint slide?
Yes, good to go. Okay. I can see it. If you can't see it, please chat me.
Okay, excellent. So let's start with what makes Bridgewater academics unique. The key thing that we want you to think about is making connections. Making connections so that you can be prepared for your academic experience at Bridgewater, making connections with people, making connections with ideas, and making connections across programs. Specifically, we want you to be prepared for wherever life takes you, both during your time at Bridgewater and after you graduate. So let's think about this concept of connected learning broadly. We have the flexibility at Bridgewater to help you build connections between programs. So we have lots of students who double major. We have students who are interested in becoming veterinarians, so they'll major in biology, but add a minor in business. We have students who want to be thinking about how they combine their passions. So we have students who do double majors in biochemistry and art. simply because they don't want to give up the things that they're most passionate about, even as they prepare themselves for careers. With that in mind, we want to ground you fundamentally in the foundations of the liberal arts. So the key way that will help you do that is to begin thinking about what it means to be at college. Here's the good news. College is not like high school. But here's the bad news. College is not like high school. So we want to prepare you for the challenges that you're going to face as you move towards college coursework. You're going to read differently in college. You're going to think differently in college. You're going to write differently in college. One of the ways that we help you do that is by connecting you with a course, that grounds you during your first semester at Bridgewater. The beauty of this course is it connects you with other first-year students who are passionate and interested in courses just like you are. These are thematic courses. When you come to the summer orientation sessions, you'll be able to look at the different themes of these first-year experiences and decide on topics that are most interesting to you. So for example, I teach a course called Dog is My Co-Pilot, which is on human and animal relationships. We have other courses on pandemics, believe it or not, that look at the history of pandemics across the world, but also looking more specifically at the recent pandemic. We have a course on superheroes and looking at the use of comic books and superheroes to think critically about dynamics in the 21st century. So you'll have an opportunity to choose a first-year seminar that's tied to a theme that you're passionate about or that you're interested in. At the same time, you'll build connections with other classmates who are going through the transition to college just like you are. You'll also be connected to a SOAR mentor. This is an upper class student who is already been through the process of transitioning to college and can connect you to resources on campus like our writing center, like our math center, like our tutoring system, which is entirely free, but also connect you with activities and opportunities in terms of co-curricular activities. The other key piece of our connected experience is the kinds of research opportunities that you have available to you. You can do a number of research opportunities with our faculty. Some of these are summer research opportunities. Some of these are opportunities that you can do directly through your coursework. I'll talk about a few that give you just a sample of the type of projects that students have been working on most recently. These include a research project that a student has done on evangelical voting that gave him the opportunity to present his research at a regional political science conference in Puerto Rico. He's also just gotten that article published. Another student, Rachel Zarin, is a double major in physics, applied physics, and health and human sciences. She did a research project with Dr. Jason Yarbara that was on 3D printing of prosthetics. So all that needs to happen in terms of these terrific research opportunities is that you connect your interests with the interest of our faculty on campus and find ways to put those research projects into action. Our faculty love working one-on-one with our students, whether it's through an independent research project or an honors project or other types of internships and field experiences that you might be interested in engaging with. Which brings me to my next opportunity, which is the applied practical applications in the program. If you're interested in teacher education, this is going to mean time in the classroom. If you're interested in physical therapy or occupational therapy, this is going to mean working directly with clinical practitioners and getting an opportunity to try your hand in a hospital setting or some other kind of setting where you can have direct experience. If you're interested in my area, social work, which was also Megan's minor, you can do field experiences with a lot of our community agencies in the local community. The great thing about these opportunities is they often translate directly into employment or into graduate school opportunities. So for example, one of my recent sociology majors who graduated in 2019, Alexis Carter, was passionate about solving the problem of human sex trafficking. This was the problem that she wanted to solve in the world. And so she first studied abroad in Southeast Asia, and upon returning, did special research projects with Dr. David Resnick in the sociology department to further her interest in this area. And then upon graduation, got a fantastic scholarship from one of the top social work programs in the country, Boston College, where she'll go work with some of the career researchers on this topic this coming fall. Studying abroad is an amazing opportunity. If you're lucky, like Alexis Carter, to study abroad for the whole semester, we want to make that happen for you. And a lot of our programs are flexible enough to do just that. They are built into the program so that you can spend a semester abroad. But that's not always possible for some majors. If you're a chemistry major or a biology major or some of our health and exercise science majors, because your program is credit heavy and you've got a lot of coursework you need to complete before you graduate, we also build in our May term courses, which are immersive experiences where you can study outside the country or even locally. So next year, all fingers crossed, we'll have students traveling to Peru. We'll have students traveling to London and Germany. We'll have students traveling to Spain. We'll have students traveling, doing a May term experience actually during their spring break in Los Angeles as part of a communication studies course. Or you can even stay local and study food politics with Dr. Bruce Amato right here in the Shenandoah Valley. So lots of opportunities that are connected to intensive field experiences or internships or travel courses. Last but not least, the final way that we want to help you think about connections that you make is through ideas, even those ideas that are beyond your own major or program. We want to connect you with the ideas that are setting the stage for making change in the 21st century. And so recently on campus, we've had Dr. Bennett Amalou, who you probably know best from Will Smith's portrayal of him in the film Concussion. When we kickstarted our master's program in athletic training, Dr. Amalou came as one of our endowed speakers. We've also had Captain Mark Kelly come recently, and this fall had Monica Lewinsky on campus specifically to talk about cyberbullying and the impact of cyberbullying and bullying and shaming in general on people's career trajectories. So to sum up, the key things that I want you to take away from this are that our programs are flexible. They're designed to help you build and connect the ideas and programs that you're most passionate about. We want you to connect with big questions that are tied to your passions and the adventures that you want to take so that you're prepared for wherever life takes you. And we want you to think about the ways in which your connections build strong relationships with your faculty. We're here because we care about teaching. This is the kind of institution where we're committed to working directly with students and where our students are more often than not the ones who are making sure that the classrooms are energetic and vibrant because they're discussion-based, they're based on problem solving, and they're based on keeping you really engaged throughout your experience. So I am happy to answer questions. That's a quick overview of the academics, but I can dig in deeper on any topic that you're interested in, and I'm going to count on Megan and Dayton to help me navigate the questions in the chat box. So don't be shy.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, if you have any questions, again, at this time, if you'd like to also, you can unmute your microphone to ask any you may have. Also, Megan and I are both graduates from BC. I graduated in the class of 2018, and she's a very recent grad. So if you have any questions, about the user experience, please feel free to ask that as well. So we got our first question here. What is the largest average class size?
So the actual
our average class size is going to be right around, oops, sorry.
Go right ahead, Dave.
Sorry, my computer had a couple internet problems. I mentioned that a second ago. You came in a little late there. I'm sorry. So the average class size is going to be right around 20 students. None of the classes are going to be, any bigger than 40 though. So really the general average is going to be right around that 20. That was one of my favorite things about Bridgewater. If I could talk personally about it, I really enjoyed having those small class sizes and having the ability to interact with my professors. If I was going to pick one thing that was my favorite, it would be that. If you end up coming to BC, it's going to be something you're going to enjoy as well. Make sure you meet with your professors as much as possible. That's really one of the things that makes the whole experience complete. They're going to become some of your best friends. You're going to learn more about the topics that you're studying. It just makes the overall experience a lot better. They also end up writing you references and recommendations when you go to apply for jobs. So, they see you through the whole process. And then, there's a lot of benefits of doing that. Thank you for your question. If you want to add anything to that, please do so.
I would simply say that the classes that are large, any class that gets up above 30 is always going to be tied to a breakout lab. So for example, our largest classes may be 30 or above, but they're going to have labs which break down into about 12 students. So even in a large class, you are not going to be just a number. You're always going to be a person, and your faculty will always recognize you. Yeah, so you can still travel abroad, even if you want to major in health and exercise science. We actually have a fabulous course that's really designed for students in the health and human science majors. That's a comparative study of European countries and how European countries are managing their healthcare systems and approach exercise science. So it's a great course taught by two of our faculty members in the health and exercise science program. So right now, this is a question about whether or not Bridgewater plans to open in the fall. And all word is from the president, from President Bushman, is that we're opening. I see that happening. And we're getting good at pivoting, but we will be here. And our plan is to open in the fall. Oh, so when do first-year students get to pick their schedule? That's a great question. So actually, when we have summer orientations, and you'll see dates come out shortly on the summer orientations, you'll work one-on-one with your advisor, either in a major, if you've already declared a major, or if you haven't declared a major, you'll still have an advisor who will help you select your courses. And the registrar will actually help build a custom design schedule for you. So you won't pick dates and times, but you will select the courses and topics that you're interested in. And then during the summer, the registrar will build a custom schedule for you. When you come in the fall, you'll get a chance to look at that schedule, decide if it fits well for you, make any small adjustments you need to make before classes start. Oh, how many classes a semester? We recommend that students take 15 credits a semester or 5 classes total. Basically, 5 classes a semester helps you stay on track. Now, we do have this wonderful May term, which is an additional 3 credits. So if you're an athlete and you want to have a semester when you only take, say, 4 classes just because you've got a busy schedule with your athletic program, you can always pick up those 3 credits in May term and stay on track for graduation. We want you to graduate in 4 years, so we recommend basically that kind of 5 + 5 or 4, 5, and 1, depending on your May term experiences. Yeah, so in terms of dual enrollment, that's a great question. Yes, so the registrar will get all that information in terms of your transfer credits, whether you've done dual enrollment or whether you have AP credit or whether you have any other kinds of programs that you're transferring into Bridgewater. She will take that into account when she builds your custom schedule. So when we do the pre-registration during orientation, you'll just make note of those dual enrollment credits before she does so. So there's a dorm room question, and I think later this week there's a residence life event, one of the events. So I would recommend that question go to those folks because I'm a professor, I don't live in the dorms. Yeah, so Nova Community College, I think is the question, dual enrollment. The registrar will work out all of those kinds of things. We do have a strong transfer program with a lot of the community colleges. So just hold on to your transcripts, make sure those transcripts come to the registrar. So if you're an athlete and you need a particular schedule, there's actually a place on the registration questionnaire for you to make note of that. We're very aware that a lot of athletes have heavy afternoon practice schedules and that we want to work with those, but also know that your coaches and your professors have very strong relationships. Let's say you're a science major. Let's say you're a bio major and you're also a football player. The football coaches understand that you will probably have labs, and your biology professors also understand that you're a football player and that they need to schedule with your labs around or with your football practice in mind. So it's one of the benefits of coming to a small school is that we have a really positive working relationship with all the coaches. The faculty members and the coaches have close partnerships. Yes, so you would ask for transcripts if you're thinking about dual enrollment. You would ask for transcripts from those community colleges or from your high school if they were dual enrollment classes from high school, and you would ask those transcripts to be sent to Bridgewater College, to our registrar's office. I believe deposits are due June 10th, if I'm not mistaken.
June 1st, yes.
June
So we
1st, okay.
previously it was due May 1st, and we've since pushed that to June 1st to give everyone some time to, get any lingering questions wrapped up, and also to give families just a little bit more time in general. But yes, June 1st.
So these questions are awesome. Thank you so much. So let me see.
Yes.
So the environmental science, yes, you can travel with environmental science. Dr. Kim Bulliard is actually taking a group to Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands next May. How awesome is that? We have a lot of environmental sciences classes that also go down to the Everglades and go to Costa Rica. An awesome environmental science program with Dr. Krebs. You'll be out and about in the field a lot in that major. Yes, when you do registration, you will work with an advisor in your major if you've declared a major. If you haven't declared a major, that's okay. You'll still have a faculty member who understands the programs that you might be interested in, and we can help you be prepared with your registration. Physical therapy, you've got some great options. We have an excellent biology department, and we have an excellent health and human sciences program. A lot of our students interested in physical therapy go through the health and human science program. And here's the thing to know: when you work on your first semester of courses, we will preload you into the courses that are required of first-year students in your major. So you don't have to panic. We will make sure that happens. As I said, we want you to graduate in 4 years, so we're going to make sure you get started. Oh, is BC thinking about a dance major? You know, that's not on the horizon for us, but we have a really strong program in theater, and we have extracurricular activities. We've had our dance team, our ballroom dancing in step, but not a major at this time. Oh, is there travel abroad programs specifically for computer science? You know, you can work with our international studies advisor, Ann Marsh. She will get you connected with programs that are pretty much all over the world, and she can help you select programs that are really specific for computer science. We have a really strong computer science program with Dr. McGregor. We do a lot of data and analytics. It's a fantastic program. Oh, easy peasy to change your major. If you have declared a major as one thing, all you need to do is let us know right before orientation that you've changed your mind. And even if you come to orientation with one idea and you come in the fall with a new idea, that's okay too. 1/3 of students coming in are going to change their mind about their major. And we know that. It's an easy thing to do. And all your professors will work with you on that. Sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, having an experience over the summer that gets you excited about a new program, or coming into Bridgewater and taking class in sociology that makes you decide that you want to change your major. So credit hours and athletic season, it's a good question. I think I would try 15 credits to start with. Take 5 courses. If that feels like a load that you can handle, great. But you can always drop a class. There's no harm in that. So you could drop down to 12 credits and still be NCAA eligible for any sport. Do you have to take a world language? Well, we do have a world language requirement, and a lot depends on whether or not you, how you place in world language. So if you studied world languages, Spanish, German, French, in high school, it's possible that you would place at a level where you only have to take 1 semester, or maybe you place high enough that you can place out of our world language credit. A lot of students place somewhere around the 102 level. They only take 1 semester, but some students place in at 101. Maybe they've never taken a language before in high school, and they take 2 semesters at Bridgewater. Yes, there is a placement test for world languages, and there's a placement test for math. And both of those are available through our incoming student course. Once you've paid your deposit, once you've started getting yourself settled for an orientation date, that incoming student course will be made available to you, and you can take those placement exams. We recommend the placement tests. They only help you, they don't hurt you. Really, they're just to judge what the best level of math and language is for you. They're free. They're part of the orientation process. So is there a marketing major? I'm sorry, I missed that question. Yes, it's actually an emphasis in our business program. So you can major in business and have an emphasis in marketing. You can major in business and have an emphasis in accounting, or an emphasis in finance or management. My husband actually teaches in the business program. He teaches some of the accounting classes, and he teaches some of the organizational management classes. So if you took some dual enrollment classes that are either math classes or language classes, it's possible that those classes will transfer in as placement credit for the course, and you know, it does, yes, you'll get credit for math that way, or you'll get credit for language that way. I would recommend just go ahead and take the placement tests anyway. As I said, they're not going to hurt you. But if you place out with the placement credit, you'll be fine. With the dual enrollment credit, you'll be fine. Oh, are there Japanese classes available? I'm sorry, Dayton, do you want to interrupt?
Go ahead. There's a couple questions about orientations, and I was just going to quickly address those.
Okay.
So we're actually going to have an official Zoom orientation update this Thursday at 6 p.m., giving you a little bit more information on what orientation is going to look like this year. But we are going to shift those to being virtual, so they will not be in person this year. We're also going to have more dates for them as well, but a lot more information is to come on that. But I just wanted to get that general question answered because I've seen it popped up a couple of times. I wanted to make sure. But again, I strongly recommend attending the orientation update this Thursday at 6 because that's going to have more official language and give you a more solidified answer. But for now, yes, know that they are virtual. Go ahead.
So the question was about Japanese. We don't offer Japanese classes right now, but we actually do have a group who meets regularly to practice Japanese and learn Japanese with Dr. Yuka Kishida, who is from Japan and teaches in our history department. We do have classes through the VFIC program in Mandarin Chinese, which might be of interest to you. There was a question about travel courses. They do come with an extra cost that's connected to the airfare and programming that's tied to that. They vary. It depends on where the trip is going. Some run as high as $3,500, $3,500, but some are fairly inexpensive depending on whether they're local or international. Oh, yes, so somebody asked about double majors and minors. Absolutely. We have students who major and minor all the time, students who double major and add a minor. And so, you know, you can major in, I'll just give you an example, sociology and social work, or you can major, as Megan did, in business and social work. And yes, so those are all possibilities. Majors and minors are great. Yes, so faculty are very well aware that we have a lot of students who are athletes. And so one of the things that happens is you get a game schedule very early in the semester. And as long as you communicate your game schedule with your professors, they will work with you in terms of possible times when you have to miss class because of a game. It does require that you be organized, but as athletes, I'm sure you are already organized. But yes, again, we have a really strong relationship. You're just accountable for the material. So you just want to work with your professors on alternate due dates or an alternate date when the exam might be if you're going to miss an exam because of a day class game.
I saw one question asking about the earliest time classes start. 8 a.m. is generally going to be the earliest. Is anybody a morning person out there and want to take some 8 a.m. classes? generally the first couple semesters, it's a little bit rough. But trust me, once you get used to them, they're not that bad. Oh, it looks like Dr. Hayes, you're an 8 a.m. Professor, right? Do you like that time?
I love teaching at 8 a.m. It's my favorite time to teach. Megan's nodding because she knows that every class she had with me was at 8 a.m. Yeah. The placement tests are free, so there's no cost for the placement tests, and they're given at your leisure. You can take them when you're ready. The incoming class page will be open for you, and then when you're ready, you just take it on your time. They're also not timed exams. They're so the platform will open, and you'll be able to take the test when you decide. So if orientations are virtual, how will we meet with our advisors? Well, we'll do it kind of like this. We'll actually meet with you like this, but we'll do breakout rooms so that you have time with us one-on-one or in small groups to help design your course preferences. You're choosing your courses that look interesting to you, and then the registrar is going to actually build your schedule. She's going to decide times of day and sections. So there's a lot of flexibility that way. You'll still be able to make changes when you come in the fall if certain times of day don't work for you.
Well, quick answer to one question I just saw. Someone was asking about if they have already paid to come to the orientation, will they be getting a refund? Yes, you will be getting a refund. We actually issued those within the past few days, and it will be sent back to the card you paid with within 2 to 4 weeks. So be looking out for that refund if you've already paid for guests to come to orientation.
So there's a question about whether we offer courses in animation. And I think the specific answer would be no, but we do have strong programs in art and digital media. So if you're interested in art and digital media, then the answer would be yes. But if you're specifically interested in animation, the answer would be no. Although you could still take Dr. Grace Martin's class on superheroes. So the question is there a certain time that people need to declare a major by? The answer is no. You can explore up through your sophomore year. A lot of our majors are purposefully set at 30 credits, which means that you can complete a major your junior and senior year. So if you're still exploring as a sophomore, that's fine. We work to help you find a major because we want you to be excited and passionate about the classes that you're taking. But we'll work with you on that, and we'll, if you're deciding, we'll help you explore what might be a good fit. But you don't need to worry, there's not a deadline. As I said, some people arrive at Bridgewater knowing exactly what they want to do, only to change their mind. Other people are 100% sure and they follow that way all the way through all 4 years. Yes, RA positions. Hold that question for the Residence Life Gang later this week, but yes, the answer is yes, there are RA positions available. There's a phenomenal photography program at Bridgewater. I highly recommend you work with Scott Jost, and there's a number of digital photography classes and lots and lots of clubs related to exercise science. Oh, how do we get into a minor if we have one in mind? You simply let the registrar know. When you declare a major, you can simultaneously declare a minor. You can declare majors and minors in advance. And again, even if you've declared, there's no, it's very easy to change your mind. Dayton and Megan, did you guys come in knowing what you were going to major in, or did you add minors and majors as you went along?
Maybe a bit of a combination. Like I knew I wanted to do the business administration major, which is what I majored in, but I ended up getting an emphasis in organization management, and I didn't know exactly that I wanted to do that. I did meet with my advisor several times, and they helped me pick the right one. But yeah, I was pretty set on business. You know, I had a couple times where it wavered a little bit maybe, but I stuck through it. So.
So there's a recent question about what does a practical experience for the philosophy and religion major look like? I think that really depends on what you're interested in. We've had lots of students do a variety of work. Some of those students are interested in peace studies, and so they've done practical experiences in peace-related initiatives, maybe humanity, Habitat for Humanity. Other students have wanted to work directly in the ministry, and so they've done that kind of practicum. Some students have been interested in Christian education, and so they've worked in that field. So a lot's going to depend on what kind of interest you have, and then we can design it. We have a lot of alums, strong alumni network in philosophy and religion, and so depending on your passion, depending on your interest, we can help you build those connections. So we have a pre-med advisors, and we have a concentration for pre-med advisor, for pre-med students that prepares you for the MCATs. I teach a course called the Sociology of Birth and Death, which is actually part of that program. So it connects biology students who are interested in medicine to the social sciences. So it's the pre-medicine isn't necessarily a minor so much as it is an advisory process to make sure that you get the collection of courses you need to get into to medical school. You can major in biochemistry, you can major in biology, you can major in health and exercise science. I mean, the reality is you can major in English and head to medical school as long as you have the necessary prereqs for medical school. So the process will be a question of advising, so which is why we have the pre-med club and a pre-med advisor. I have not heard any discussion of Bridgewater having esports, but you know, who knows? That one is new to me. Actually, no, we have a really, so this question is about graduate schools. We have an excellent track record of getting students into graduate school, especially students who have performed well throughout their college career. I'll give you an example from my own field. We have a 100% placement rate for students who are interested in social work graduate programs, MSW programs, in the graduate program of their choice with scholarships. Same track record for students interested in law school, strong track record for students interested in medical school, assuming those students have performed well in their courses. A 100% placement record for athletic training. And so yes, excellent support for getting you into graduate programs. A lot of our professors will work with you to help you think about graduate programs based on graduate schools that they went to or graduate schools that they know about. We have 2 students heading to Princeton this fall, and they were given recommendations from a faculty member who's an alum from Princeton. So never hurts to have good relationships with your professors. Yeah, so we do have academic requirements outside your major. This is our Foundations in the Liberal Arts program, our FILA program we call it. When I mentioned during my presentation about big questions and big ideas that we want you to connect with, these are the classes that I'm talking about. So regardless of whether you're a bio major or a computer science major or a business major, you are better prepared for work, better prepared for graduate school, because you will have a grounding in coursework that connects ideas and helps you think critically and helps you problem solve. So we ask students to take courses in a variety of disciplines, because we know that that's the best preparation for living in a complex 21st century world. Because single answers alone don't solve the complexities that we face. And so having the ability to draw connections between any of these fields makes such a world of difference. So I got this beautiful note last week from a graduating senior who had taken the Sociology of Birth and Death class with me to say that for him, being a biology major, never having studied sociology, it gave him a brand new perspective on how to solve social problems, how to think about healthcare, how to think about how we treat patients. And so yes, there are requirements outside your major, but I think you'll find that they make you better prepared upon graduation. So we have a fall semester, which is typically 15 weeks, and we have a spring semester, which is typically 15 weeks. And then we have our May term, which is 3 weeks. And so those are our 3 academic terms. You are not required to attend May term, although 2 are built into your tuition. And so we encourage you to do that with either a field experience or an internship or a travel course. So no, the May term is not required, but it's definitely a beneficial option.
Thank you all for asking questions. You know, we really appreciate it, and we assume you still have some more as well, but we want to make sure you have enough time. I know there's some students in here right now that are potentially doing the virtual tour after this presentation. I want to give you enough time to, you know, get out of this presentation and then get into the next one, just so that you have enough time right there. Again, if you have any additional questions or any that we didn't get to, please feel free to email at missions@bridgewater.edu. Dr. Hayes, if you saw another question you wanted to take on, go ahead. We still have a couple minutes right here.
There's a question about the 3-2 program with Virginia Tech. I assume that's the engineering program that you're asking about. The Department of Physics would be the best, applied physics would be the best place to start. And they're a great group of people to ask that question of. Basically what you do is 3 years at Bridgewater and 2 years at Virginia Tech. You graduate with a bachelor's degree from Bridgewater and your engineering degree from Virginia Tech.
And thank you again. Thank you all so much for asking some questions. I'm answering a couple privately here. I'm going to get those wrapped up and then give everyone a chance to get over to the tour as well. I'm also going to post a survey link in the chat here in 1 second. So please feel free to fill that out just to let us know how we can improve and, you know, let us know what you thought of the presentation. Again, we really thank you for joining in and we hope that you found this really helpful. I think there was a lot of good information here. And again, if you have any additional questions, please remember them and send them to admissions@bridgewater.edu. You know, all the counselors, though we're working remotely, we're still answering questions all day, and we want to make sure we get you all the information you need to make that informed decision on BC. I'm going to, yes, and just had a question asked about if you have to leave this meeting to attend the 7 o'clock meeting. Yes, if you're going to go to the meeting at 7 o'clock after this one, you will have to back out of this one, and it's actually a separate link for the virtual tour, just because those are 2 different presentations, and we had some students that signed up for one and not the other. With that being said, again, thank you all for joining in with us, and if you have any additional questions, please email us. So I'm going to answer if you, yes, thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day, and we hope to see you at the next presentation.
Thank you.
So I mentioned a second ago that I'm going to post a survey. For those who are still in there, please copy this survey and then feel free to fill it out once you're done. I know it's kind of tough right here because we're in a bit of a time crunch. You don't have to fill it out right now. If you just want to copy it into a Word document or somewhere else and then fill it out at a later time, that would be great. But have fun at the next presentation if you're going to it. And I'm hanging on right here. Just if you have any more questions, you can feel free to ask me. I'm not going to be in the next presentation just so that we could kind of make this seamless, and I wanted to make sure we got any additional questions answered here. And thank you, Dr. Hayes. You did a great job. Thank you. We had a lot of questions there, and I'm really glad. I love answering the questions. I thought that was great. So, yes, I did not forget you. 1 second. Let me get the May term pulled up here. I'm actually going to send you a link for the May term. We had a lot of questions about May term. That's awesome. Here, I'm going to send you the FAQs. No, don't apologize. All right, so I just sent you the FAQs, Anne-Marie. So if you have any questions after that point, be sure to email us. Again, we're always answering questions. So again, those who are attending the next presentation, as you've seen, a lot of people backing out. You do have to back out of this presentation and then click the separate link to go to the next one. They're 2 separate events. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you for joining us. All righty. So we have a limited number still in here, but I am going to wait until everyone gets backed out, just to make sure everyone's good to go. All righty. Thank you guys again. Really, we really appreciated all the questions.